Hi, I'm Erin Borbet, and I'm a licensed acupuncturist and Chinese medicine herbalist, and I'm here today to give you your acupoint protocol for the Taiwanese Azalea and the Truthteller mist in this month's Flower Revolution. So the points I chose today are actually a series of 4 points, and they're on the top of the head, and they're on the gallbladder meridian. And the reason I chose the gallbladder meridian is because it has a close affinity with the liver meridian, and both are ascribed to the wood element. So the wood element in general is kind of the quintessential creativity element. It's what is responsible for our vision, our creative growth, and blossoming into our full potential. And then the gallbladder in particular is sort of the governance of right decision making and allowing us to see a clear choice, make it, and move forward, right? Not hold back in any way. So I thought these kind of qualities resonated really well with the Truthteller in our clear, decisive action and the Taiwanese Azalea in our elevated perspective and creativity. And the points on the head are actually, clinically speaking, they have a lot of applications for, the nasal passages and the eyes and clearing any congestion in the head. And from a spiritual aspect, they kind of act as portals to an elevated perspective, to divine perspective, to kind of rising up out of our body and our experience to look down and see it with more clarity and more truth. And the points are all in a line. The way we find them is finding the midline of the eye, kind of with the pupil, going straight up the forehead and just into the hairline about a ½ an inch, depending on where your hairline is, but that's about where it is. That's gallbladder 15. And then 1½ sun, or inches, behind that is gallbladder 16, 1½ behind that, gallbladder 17, and 1½ behind that are gallbladder 18. And those are the 4 points. The good news is we're using our mist, so we don't have to know exact point location. We can just mist the crown of our head and visualize our upper gallbladder points opening as portals to the sky and use the ritual that way. I'll go through a little bit of point explanation for each one. So gallbladder 15 is called the head governor of tears, and I think of this in 2 ways. One as being kind of the governor, right? This like very statuesque point that's able to be, elevated on the mountain, looking down at all that is below and seeing it, but not from a, global and therefore diluted view, more from global, but also being able to see the details. I had a teacher once tell me it was like seeing the forest and the trees. So you can really forge a path ahead and have that clarity of vision. The head governor of tears, it does rule the eyes and can help with excessive watery eyes. I think of it as our cathartic cry that can happen, when emotions build up and things get kind of pent up to the point of tears, right? And then we have that cathartic cry, and usually on the other side of it is a lot more freedom and a lot more creativity and a lot more intuition. So that is gallbladder 15. We'll move right behind it to gallbladder 16, which is often translated as window of the sky, and it is a direct connection to spirit. In Chinese medicine, we'll often call it heavenly plan, but it is non-denominational, and it is really just a connection to the divine and this universal idea that we are interconnected and what that energy plan is like. And so having that connection, that divine connection through gallbladder 16. Moving one back to gallbladder 17 is often called upright living or upright nutrition. And I think of this as like strengthening our foundation and our resources so that we can have limitless potential, so that there is no cage, there is no boundary to what we can accomplish, to our creativity, to our expression, to our potential. And so we've got gallbladder 15, our elevated perspective, gallbladder 16, our connection to the divine, Gallbladder 17, our limitless potential for this expression. And then Gallbladder 18, which is called spirit support. And this is the ultimate inspiration point that comes both from our somatic experience and inspiration as human beings, and also as inspiration from the divine, and really connecting that into our own truth and being able to clearly express it in the world. So I hope this serves you on your journey. Enjoy misting the crown of your head and taking your Taiwanese Azalea, and I'll see you next time.